No cult.
Warning, Neo detected. Warning, Neo detected. Warning, get ready to evacuate. Warning, get ready to evacuate.
This is love, love, love. This is love, love. This is love, love.
Digital breeze from cybernet seas. We may not make it out of the bay. Just unwind, it doesn't matter anyway. Try not to freeze or throw away the keys. The predator is now the prey. Things could be different. Things could be alright. Things could be innocent when dark becomes light. We're online, ready to fire away. Powered by a dream, connected to a screen. The revo's in 4K. When dark becomes light, we're online, ready to fire away. Powered by a dream, connected to a screen. The revo's in 4K.
And welcome on in, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome on in to the Apollo Racing Club ACF1 League as we head to Hockenheim tonight. I'm Adam AV500. Joining me, as always, across the pond is my co-commentator, James Williamson. James, 33 laps tonight around this historic track. Here we go, 2 weeks in a row.
Here we go, indeed. It should be a good test for drivers. Some interesting corners and high speeds. So we'll see who can handle this course the best. Obviously, usual suspects you'd imagine would be at the front. Cody Lawrence, Mark Levine, who was a winner last week. But it should be a good race.
It really should be. looking at the standings here up on your screen currently, we have Cody Lawrence, of course, still out in front with 166 points, but Mark Levine, with that win last week, puts himself 123 points. So still got a ways to go in the championship for him, but making this a tight championship, hopefully to the end. Fox, after getting his 5th podium this season, in 3rd place with 100 points. Damian Hall in 4th place, a good finish from him last week with 76 points, but he's tied with Mark Anthony Hinkson now in 5th, who also has 76 points. Legs in 6th with 54 points. William Neron in 7th with 46 points. Matt Chevry in 8th place with 44, and William Knowles in 9th with 11 points, and Mark Jansen with 6 points, rounding out the top 10. Mark Levine, quickest in practice, overall with a 111.8 after having a big win last week due to Cody Lawrence crashing in Ascari. He has also put in 349 laps tonight for tonight's race. Cody Lawrence, he was 2nd quickest, and Damian Hall was 3rd quick in the practice session. Talk a little bit about this track. The Hockenheim Ring, 4.5 kilometers long, or 2.8 miles. So a pretty short track, James, with 16 turns. So it's going to be an interesting race, I think. And of course, qualifying, it's going to be hard to find that space that you need.
Yeah, it's going to be the same as Monza, where everyone's trying to look for that space. 1 minute 11 lap, traffic's going to play a big part in qualifying, and obviously as the race goes on tonight, and how you manage that is going to be a key to victory, I would feel.
So we get ready here for qualifying, a 14-minute qualifying session. We have 19 drivers here tonight, so a decent-sized field for the 2nd week in a row. Or on our Discord and part of the league, you would not know this, but we had a lot of penalty points and a lot of time penalties from last week. So definitely not the greatest of shows, but definitely caused some fun times around Monza last week with the incidences in Ascari, of course, in turn 1, and it was an interesting race. But here we go, cars out on track. Gerard Neblet leads the field away here with Mark Levine, who's going to get out there quick, try and keep his lap time quicker than Cody Lawrence. He was a 10th quicker in the practice session. So who are you looking at tonight, James?
I mean, obviously, you're always looking for what Cody Lawrence is going to do. Mark Levine. I think the dark horse for me tonight is Damian Hall, who was definitely up there in practice and is definitely within a shout of a win tonight if circumstances play out in his favour. But ultimately, you just need to get that qualifying lap in first, put yourself in the right position for the race, because it's not an easy track to overtake here. Just, I would say the hairpin, obviously, turn 6 is going to be the best chance tonight. But, wow, that's Neblet off.
Yeah, Gerard Neblet. Yeah, Gerard Neblet going too quickly there through turns 14 and 15, and losing the rear end. And here comes Mark Levine to turn 1. Keeps it out on track now, so we'll keep an eye on his progress here through his lap as he comes down into turn number 2. Tonight's definitely going to be one of those interesting races because of potential two-stop, and as Mark Levine goes off the track, missing all of basically turn 1 or turn 2, excuse me. But here comes Mark Jansen. Mark Jansen going down that first really long straight in the turn 4, the hairpin, and he gets it through just nicely there. Keeps the car on track. I would say that's probably one of the hardest turns on the course and maybe in all of F1 racing.
Quite possibly, yes. I mean, this is a decent lap by Marco Jansen to hopefully at least set our first lap after our first 2 drivers failed in different ways to get around the course. But he's going through the stadium section now. This is always a bit of a tricky part. Certainly in the race, you'll not see much passing there. You kind of need to avoid catching the traffic in that section. It's the race with him. But Jansen gets around the final corner now. See what he puts up.
114.
114.6. Bear in mind, people were doing 111s in practice. I don't think that's going to pickle the top of the timesheets when people start saying, well, that's the fact William Neron's already gone second. I mean, sorry, already gone back to the top with a 13, but now it's down to a 12-9 by Mr. Figo.
Let's go to Legs here. Legs back in the pits as he's going third quick. Angela crosses the line, goes seventh quick. Cody Lawrence goes on the pole with a quick time. And now we're going to watch Mark Levine as he's going to attempt his lap again. Ooh, I think that's going to be a little bit wide on that exit of turn number 1. Be interesting to see if he continues. It looks like he is, so we'll keep an eye on him here. Now he's going to have to navigate through turn 3. Does a nice job. That's where he got held up last time. Now, they do count this as a turn.
Yeah, it's one of the. It's sort of like the Austria turn 2 thing, where it's not really a turn, but they decide it is one.
Yep, it is a turn. So we're down to turn 6. Navigates through that. Let's take a look at his time here. He is currently green in sector 1. Now comes down into turn number 8, 9 into through the Mercedes section, and now into Mobile 1. Into the stadium section.
Oh, you didn't really need to catch that guy. That was going to take your eye off the ball slightly, but the stadium section, that first turn, you really have to throw it in there. In fact, Mark Levine really has been throwing it around this track so far. We'll see what he does in terms of final time, but at least he's on the board now by the looks of it. And in fact, he goes pole.
He goes to pole. He was purple in sector 2 with a 34.1 and sector 3 at 22.4.
Yeah, great lap there. You really are committed, which is what you need to do. So again, just like turn 1, turn in the turn 10 or whatever it is in the stadium section, you really need to commit to them, and it pays off. It's Matt Chevry now. He's on a lap, trying to set his first lap of the day.
Yeah, that's a very good lap at 112.5, but he can definitely hit the 111s as Matt Chevry gets out of shape. Ooh. Coming out of turn 3. Let's go back to Angela. Angela going through turn number 1. Keeps it nice and neat, though. Just uses those outside tires to get on the curbs and keeps it nice and neat. And I think that's kind of the goal right now for a lot of these drivers. They don't want to get too wide. Last season or 2 seasons ago, I can't remember the last time we ran here, we did have somebody who, one of the FIA members, they were strictly watching turn 1 to make sure nobody was using that out of bounds because the track wasn't catching it. Maybe this new update to the track is catching it. Here we go for Angela now coming into turn number 8, the Mercedes corner. Through turns 9 and 10, heading now down to the stadium section. And this is, again, it's a high-speed track. You've got to keep your guard up pretty much everywhere with this kind of track because a lot of places that you're going to do a quick lift, little down, one downshift, get through the corner, right back onto the gas. And it's very easy to spin those rear tires and get yourself out of shape. And here comes Angela now, going to complete her lap, and she crosses the line. Does not improve position, but improves her time. Damian Hall does go to pole, though, with a 112.5. So a lot of these guys still getting quicker here. We'll see this kind of evolve here throughout the session. Let's go to Matt Chevry again. Matt Chevry currently on an out lap. So he's wrapping up his lap. Karma wrapping up, I think he's wrapping up his lap as well. Man, we haven't talked about much tonight. Mark Anthony Hinkson, he's looking for a good night tonight because he's had a rough go of it pretty much consistently all season. Here he goes. Mark Anthony Hinkson crosses the line. He goes still 7th quick, a 113.350. Tyler Sainz now coming through the final corner. Has to do a little bit of movement with that steering wheel through that corner and through the final corner, and just to get the angle right, and he's actually going around again. So you can see he's kind of twitching at the steering wheel. I'm not sure because that's very twitchy for somebody if they were using a wheel. I wonder if he's on a controller tonight.
Possible. I mean, that was a very tight line through turn 2. But we'll see what he does. He's coming up to the hairpin now. See if he gets a good hairpin set up the lap for the second half. That speed will carry all the way down this straight if he does. No, a bit too much wheel spin.
That's the other part about the hairpin that makes it very challenging is not only do you have to brake hard and get a good line, but you can't get on the throttle as much as you want to because you'll get that rear wheel spin, and it can ruin your lap, or it can make or break a lap.
Yeah, it is. It does. It can add, gives and takes quite a bit of time. That hairpin. But again, there's a lot of corners in this course that it's certainly give and take, depending on how much you're willing to commit. A lot of trail braking, especially this corner here. You really need to keep the brake going into the corner, and then it's like I said, the stadium section. There's a turn coming up now. You really need to throw it in there and just hope the car sticks.
Right now,
sorry. Carry on.
Right now on pole is going to be Tom Cruise, not the actual Tom Cruise, but a new member here at ARC on the pole with a 1:12.544. So we'll keep an eye on his progress. I'm very surprised by some of these lap times, to say the least. We were seeing 1:11s in practice, but we're seeing 1:12s here in qualifying. Damian Hall has had it off. Let's go to Mark Levine here, and he crosses the line. He does not improve his time. He was down in all three sectors. Cody Lawrence, who, if this is his starting spot, would be his lowest starting spot on the season.
Yeah, P4 is not what you expect from him, but obviously he needs to find a 10th. And he's back in there, so front four is just an intriguing battle here between the front four. Like I said, the times down from what they were in practice. Now, whether that's because of the track or if everyone's just trying to put laps in and then really go for it on that final run, we'll see. But we're coming up to 4 minutes left. Has Cody Lawrence got a lap to answer Tom Cruise at the moment?
12 of the top four separated by just over a tenth of a second on pace. And here comes Cody Lawrence now through into the stadium section he goes. Going by the drag strip here in just a moment. Comes through the final corner. Stays on track and he'll cross the line, and he improves his time but does not move positions. Let's go to Damian Hall. He's down on his time as well.
Yeah, it's almost as if the track's actually got slower as the session's gone on, which is usually the opposite of what you get. The front 3 or 4 aren't making any progress in terms of lap time in these final runs. Most of them will probably have at least one more though. We've still got 3 minutes left, so if you stop now, still can get an outlap and do a lap if they feel they want to. Damian Hall's obviously gone for a second lap here, so we'll see if he can improve this time. He's coming up to some horrible traffic.
Damian Hall right now down in Sector 1, an orange sector.
Let's see if Sector 2 can give him anything, but like I say, it just feels like there's not much improvement. Cody Lawrence has put a purple final sector but didn't improve his lap.
Well, he improved by just a little bit. It wasn't much.
He didn't improve his position despite that, but time has been very hard to find these final runs. Damian was up in his second sector. See what his final one is. He only needs to find like 1/100th. It's not much, but
Mark Levine goes to pole though. A 1:12.481. What a lap by Mark Levine, as he now takes the pole by 63 hundredths of a second.
He does. You look at his sectors, and he only really improved in that final one. So I guess all the improvement at the moment is in Sector 3.
On Sector 3 is probably the most trickiest in terms of grip levels because it's incredibly slow.
Yeah, true. It's a lot of precision placement of the car through these turns to get the maximum speed through them, and it looks like Tom Cruise has given up on this lap.
Let's go back to Cody Lawrence here. watching his out lap. And as he heads into a hot lap, because he is, again, this is somebody who's in the championship lead. And the start fourth, there's been some major improvement as we see some cars off the track. We'll keep an eye on his first sector time here. See if he can improve it all, because with a field this tight, you have to make such fine margins. Cody Lawrence up in sector 1, a 16.1, a green sector, not a purple sector. And he comes into the hairpin. Again, a place that you have to be so particular in how much brake you put in, how much throttle you put out on the exit. And he's keeping it nice and neat. His sector 2 time coming up here in just a moment. Take a look.
Let's say, this lap is very good. You know, he's using pretty much every inch of the track, but his second sector is slower than what he's managed previously. But we'll see what this final sector can give. He doesn't actually need to, like I said, he doesn't need to improve much. He just needs to find a little bit in this final sector, and he can certainly jump up for that 4th position. Which is what I want to do, because once you're in 4th, you're at more risk of the carnage that could happen in turn 1. And Cody Lawrence goes up to P2. So he at least has a front row start at the moment. He'll be happy with at least that. And it gives him a better shot of surviving any trouble in turn 1.
Keep an eye on Mark Levine here. He's down in sector 1, a purple sector 2 at 34.011. The man is on a mission. He wants this pole. He wants to be out in front.
He does. There's people behind him who's still on laps as well, so he really needs to just try and get a bit more time scrubbed off his lap, and then hopefully Tom Cruise
not
will start a lap. Okay, so I guess we want to see what Tom Cruise can do. He's down in sector 1. We've also got Mark Anthony Taylor just crossing the line now. Can he improve? He does not. He's still in P8. So Tom Cruise, if he's going to finish this lap, he's probably the best chance of it. In fact, Mark Anthony just crossed the line now. He's up to P7.
And Tom Cruise spins it, and that's going to end the qualifying session.
That's the ball game for qualifying.
I was going to say, we're not even to the race yet, but Mark Levine takes pole here.
Ball game. It's a double header.
It's a double header.
Yeah.
But this man right here, Mark Levine, last week's winner at Monza, putting up the quickest lap time by 3400ths of a second. Mark Levine over Cody Lawrence, but he will have Cody Lawrence right next to him at the beginning of this, and that's where things get hairy. And because Cody Lawrence, he is quick, his qualifying pace is incredible, but his race pace is much more consistent for sure. So it'll be interesting to see how these two battle it out. But the top 4 separated by less than a 1/10 of a second. I'm not joking. If I'm doing the math right, it's less than a 1/10. It's about 800ths of a second between the top 4.
That front 4 is very evenly paced at the moment. It's just about whether that translates into a race, and hopefully it does. But I think, like I said, the first thing is navigating that turn 1, because it's a very fast start to a lap, but it's very easy for contact to be made. It's sort of a one-line corner, and you got everyone 2x2 into there. So we'll see who gives and takes in that, and then we'll see how the race plays out. But yeah, we've got this out for a great race here, Adam. Top 4, all within a 100th of a second. You don't count out the rest of the field too. It's not a great deal of difference in a lot of times here. So anything can happen.
Well, there's a possibility of a 2-stop strategy, because from what drivers were saying, the left front tire just gets a lot of wear. Because, this circuit counterclockwise, of course, and that kind of makes it difficult for everybody else. So,
yeah,
we'll see here.
Let's see what tires people decide to start with on. I think, will anyone try a different strategy, or is everyone just going to start on the yellow? It looks like a lot of people just starting on the C3s. Marco Jansen 10th on the C4, so he's obviously planning to go longer, I believe. It's a harder tyre.
The C4 is the soft. No, it is the hard.
Yeah, I can't remember which way they go.
It's one of the two. I see some soft tires, but I see a lot of yellow mark tires. So, medium tires. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The lights are about to come on here. We'll have 6 lights turn on, and 6 lights will go out here in just a moment. 6 lights come on now, and 6 lights go out, and away we go. Matt Chevry getting a drive-through penalty already for a jump start, and here comes Mark Levine. He's going to try and get through turn 1 cleanly. He is going to lead the first corner here away from Cody Lawrence, and here they all come down into turn number 2. Nerard Neblet picking up a drive-through penalty as well for a jump start. Everybody trying to stay clean. Well, we're seeing some guys trying to make some move. Jansen already down the inside of Taylor, and we're seeing, I think everybody.
Some action at the back.
Oh,
I think turn 1's been a bit of a calamity. Turn 2's been a bit of a calamity for a few people.
Well, we keep racing here. Matt Chevry trying to get by William Knowles, but he'll have to serve a drive-through penalty soon, as now William Knowles goes down the inside. The Haas as well of Andy Cody trying to get down the inside through the hairpin, and everybody makes it out cleanly through the hairpin. Mark Levine still leading here over his teammate by proxy of Cody Lawrence, and he's gonna have a battle on his hand as Fijo now is coming up into the 3rd spot. The newcomer here to the Apollo Racing Club ACF1 division. Tom Cruise now losing a place as well to Damian Hall as they now come to the stadium.
Yeah, great start by Raquel's Figo. He's up to P3. I think him and Tom Cruise had a bit of an incident because I think Tom Cruise picked up a bit of damage. Further back, there was more carnage after the initial one with the people who were caught up in turn 2 were also caught up in a hairpin incident. So a few people having some bad starts, jump start, penalties, and damage for a few. But Cody Lawrence is right at the back of Mark Levine at the moment. But Mark Levine holding strong.
We do already have some guys spinning. We do have Matt Chevry serving his drive-through. Yeah. Neblet will serve his drive-through as well. Right away, got to get back, and then that's smart. Want to get that penalty taken care of and get back out there, as we already have our first DNF of the night, Rebel Gales, and he will be not racing with us for the rest of the night. Our Neblet does take his first his drive-through, and now it's on as the top 4 starting to spread out here by a couple of seconds through by each other. Mark Levine trying to pull out that 1 second gap so he doesn't have to worry about the DRS here coming up next lap.
Yeah, I'm impressed by Mark Levine's pace early on. I mean, not that he's a slow driver normally, but you know, Cody Lawrence is such a unrelenting force. To put him 1.3 seconds down in 2 laps is an impressive start for Mark Levine, and he'll hope that can continue as the race goes on. Damian Hall, though, he's looking to get up to the back of Raquel's Figo and try and regain his lost position at the start.
DRS now active, and here comes Damian Hall. He tried to close the gap a little bit before going into turn number 5.
Well, he's going to get his DRS now, so
yes, he is.
See if he can close up.
Can he get it done before the hairpin? No, he cannot. He's a little bit farther back, but he's going to set himself up here to make a move later in this lap. Mark Anthony Hinkson now getting by Tom Cruise. And Tom Cruise still on the inside line, trying to get up, trying to just go. We have 4 guys side by side, and looks like Tom Cruise has to pull out of a move here as he was trying to make the move happen. But William Neron in the background there almost gets tagged, though, is Tom Cruise by Fox. Fox going to lose a couple positions on that deal to William Neron. And here comes Legs now right on the rear bumper of Kieran Fox as they now going to be coming into the stadium section.
Yeah, great battle there, very chaotic, but everyone kept it pointing the right way, and that's what you like to see. But I think Tom Cruise may be suffering for that damage. His pace in the race is certainly not matching what he was doing in qualifying and practice. But it's early days yet.
Mark Taylor picking up a 3-second time penalty for an illegal DRS. Can't use that DRS unless you're within a second of the driver in front of you.
Penalties, that's going to be another factor for a lot of people tonight. You just need to keep your nose clean. 3 seconds lost already for the DRS penalty there, and that's, that adds up at the end of the race.
And it's going to be hard to drive away from everybody until the pit cycles happen and you can kind of get that gap behind you. But, you never know, because with the way that this battle is happening from 6th to 9th, I mean, these guys could be battling this out through the entirety of the race, the way that this pit strategy will work tonight, because you're going to have, again, I'm betting, I could almost bet on a two-stopper just with the way that left tire is going to go and how quickly. So some people are going to take that option. Some people are going to go for the one-stop and go from medium to hards and try and make that work. Let's head back to the battle for third place here as Damian Hall trying to make progress in this one. He's not able to get quite close enough to Raquel's Fijo, but it's going to be incredibly tight through this next sector, and there goes Damian Hall.
No.
He spins it again. A little bit more bad luck for Damian Hall this week.
It really was, but they've seen a few people spin there. It's very easy to get a bit too happy on the throttle pedal early, and when you're battling another car, it certainly gets the blood pressure rising. And then you want to just get on that gas a bit earlier and earlier, and it doesn't pay off there. As Damien Hall now drops behind William Neron and joins the second DRS train. It's forming between 6th and 10th.
It's the only DRS train now.
I decided to get, even though Cody Lawrence is 2 seconds by Mark Levine, is still a DRS train because Cody Lawrence is always a threat.
This is true. And he's very good when it comes to pit strategy calls. So if he can find a way to get clean air, he is going to take full advantage of that to close that gap. But right now, he is fastest on track with this 116.5 that last time by. It's 1/10 quicker than Mark Levine.
Yep, the front two are starting to check away from Raquel Figo in third, who did a 117.3 the last lap. So the pace is picking up at the front. And we'll just see if Mark Anthony Hinkson can drag his train up to the back of Raquel's Figo. And then a podium spot's on the line. But Damien Hall down the inside gets back one of those lost spots.
He's trying to get as wide as he can. William Neron with the switchback through the hairpin. Now they're side by side still. William Neron not clear of Damian Hall, and Damian Hall not clear of William Neron. But can he finally get the move done? I would say the move's done now as he moves back up into 5th. Now he's got a lot of work to do to catch back up to Raquel Figo.
Yep, and everyone, Mark Anthony Hinkson just needs to hold on, and William Neron needs to hold on to the back of Damien Hall here and drag. He can basically. It's the case of these all need to basically drag each other up to this front battle at this stage. So DRS is going to help them to keep in touch as these early laps wind on. But like I said, once the pit cycles start, that's when we're going to start seeing the strategies play out. Who's going to maybe try one stop? Who's going to go for that 2-stop? There's a few options tonight. It should make for a very intriguing strategy battle on top of the battling in the race. And Boxler, what a move! He's picked off 2 cars while it's in a couple of corners.
Yeah,
He's dragging Tom Cruise with him.
Yeah, Mark Anthony Hinkson having a little bit of trouble out of turn number 4. And a little bit of contact there between Mark Anthony Hinkson and Tom Cruise, and that's going to allow Fox to get away a little bit here and not feel that pressure so far behind. But guess who's into this battle now? It's going to be Legs. We have a 3-car battle for the 7th position.
Certainly do. Again, that little mishap between Tom Cruise and Mark Anthony Hinkson's brought Legs into it. In fact, Legs has now taken advantage of some very scrappy corners by Mark Anthony Hinkson. He's down to 9th, Legs is up to 8th. As we read through the stadium section to complete another lap. It's a lot of battling going on early on here, Adam, as people try and get into position before these first stops.
You see these drivers, they are going to do anything they can to move up positions before this first stint is over. But it's definitely going to be hard. So Damian Hall really pressing the issue here now onto William Neron. Has that DRS wide open. It's not going to be enough to make a move, though. You got to be really, really close to make a move into the hairpin, as now we have another DNF on the night. Gerard Neblet will DNF tonight's race, and he will have to come back. He'll have to go back to the drawing board on this one, figure out something that works for him. Had a drive-through penalty at the start of the race for a jump start and just hasn't recovered. So
certainly, when it rains, it pours kind of night for Gerard Neblet there. So we'll see what, like I said, direct to drawing board, come back next race, and hopefully right some wrongs that have happened tonight. But this battle here, Damian Hall, I think he can. He needs to really get around William Neron because he's clearly got more pace, but he hasn't been able to put the pace into the places where he can actually make an overtake. But he's going to have DRS out at turn 1. Maybe he can have a move down turn 2. But I think setting up for the hairpin is a safer bet. He had a half look there, thought better of it. He just also needs to make sure he doesn't spin, because this happened before when he was this close. But he's a nice exit there. He's got a good chance now down to the hairpin. We'll see if William Neron takes a defensive line here. Don't think he has. So I think he's quite happy to let Damian Hall just go down the inside. And really, William Neron just needs to try and hold on to back. Oh my word, he overshot the corner there.
And he got a little bump.
He certainly did, but he might have held the position. He's going to have the inside into turn 8 if he can get side by side, but I think he's lost that now.
He has.
So William Neron lead. Yeah, so another lap for Damian Hall behind William Neron. I thought he had the move done, but he obviously just overshot that hairpin. The DRS with the extra speed, he obviously didn't factor that in. And William Neron holds on to third.
Well, this would be a great race from William Neron if he's able to make this happen. Now we have contact. Mark Levine got into the side of Angela.
Oh, no. Second week in a row, our leader. Yeah, second week in a row, our leader has had an incident with a lap without car. Wow, that's incredibly unfortunate.
Angela is now DNF'd.
That's a shame. Shame for Mark Levine too. I mean, what kind of damage has he got? He's 10, 11 seconds ahead of this William Neron battle at one point, and now he's right in their firing line. And Cody Lawrence, he's smiling big. 11-second lead now. It's almost like the karma's coming back after last week. But there's still plenty of racing to go. So it's whether Mark Levine has a really damaged car here, but he's really struggling. So I think the damage is quite significant.
It really is. You could see on our timing screens kind of where the damage was happening on Angela's car. Her car was pretty much destroyed. But yeah, ooh. Mark Levine getting passed by William Neron, almost gets passed by Damian Hall. He's got to think about pitting here to get this damage fixed up. And you can tell he's just incredibly struggling here.
Yeah, you don't really associate mobile chicane with Mark Levine, but it felt like it there as cars were going left and right. It's a bit like a multi-class race almost. Everyone was trying to get around him in the stadium section. Not an easy place to pass, but Mark Levine now pitting. Whether he stays in the race, we'll see.
Looks like he is going to stay in this one. He's going to go ahead and...
I wonder if he'll try one stop from here. I mean, I don't know if you can get 23 laps out of the hardest set of tyres, but I guess at this point that's all he can do.
Yep, he's going to have to risk it. He'll risk it here, and he's going to actually be passed by Mark Jansen in the pit lane. He's going on the softs. So
he's got to turn the opposite way.
He's going to do a two-stopper.
He's going to lay down some serious rubber, I would imagine now.
Well, at this point, you got to make up that gap somehow, and putting on the fastest compounded tire just to kind of help you get closer. I mean, at this point, it's just about getting closer. But guess who that promotes into second? That's going to put William Neron into second place with William Neron hot on his heels.
Yep, there, Damian Hall, William Neron, Fox are all in that battle for that second and third spot. Podium's on the line for a few people tonight. Maybe we would have thought as the race was playing out it wasn't going to be possible. But when one of your leaders is taken out, everyone all of a sudden fancies that podium. But what a great battle, this battle between Damien Earl, William Neron, and Fox, everybody's just been, everyone's been very close, and Damien Earl's all over the back of William Neron here. Damien Earl will want to get past, I feel if he gets past William Neron, he's got the pace to maybe pull away.
And here comes Damian Hall down the inside into the hairpin, and he finally makes the move done. He promotes himself up into second, but William Neron with the switchback move, can he get the rubber down and get the grip down out of the hairpin? It's going to be close.
It's a bit close this time. If he can hold side by side through this corner, he should have the advantage. But again, he hasn't got the move done. That hairpin, he just cannot seem to get clear. And William Neron with a massive bit of wheel spin out of the Mercedes bend there, and he's nearly got overtaken by Hall, but holds on again. This battle rages on, and you have to wonder if you're going to have to start using the pit strategy to get around those. To go past Steins, by the looks of it, who was in the gravel.
Yep, he was just getting out of the way.
Well, that's one way to get out of the way of this battle. As it rages on for another lap. Will Damien Hall get around William Neron? Again, we've been saying this every lap. He's right on the back of him. You might fancy it into turn 2, try something a bit different. But he got a horrible exit there, so I don't think he's going to get this move done. In fact, Fox is right on the back of him. And Fox is in that box seat. He's waiting for these two to have an incident, and there he can capitalise. Certainly possible. This is a great battle between these three. William Neron, though, not that it's close this time. In fact, if anything, he might have to defend from Fox. Fox looking on the outside.
And here comes Damian Hall. Dive bombs. Contact. And Damian Hall gets a little bit loose from the contact from Fox, but Damian Hall is going to be counting his lucky stars on that one as he now is up in the second. And now we have Tom Cruise into the battle. And oh no! Absolute carnage.
Oh, no. So much carnage it made me cough. Wow, that's put Damien Hall in a great position. He's got away now. Legs is back on the back of this. But a big dive by Tom Cruise there didn't pay off. Spun William Neron. Unfortunately for Fox, he tried to avoid it going well wide, but he got caught up in it as well. But Fox is third at the moment. William Neron fourth. Raquel Figo in fifth. Legs in sixth. And Tom Cruise has dropped down to eighth in all this.
And Legs has gone off. Legs has gone off in the gravel here in the last couple of corners.
That's unfortunate as well. A few drivers. Tears on lap 14 for a few drivers there. Mark Levine working his way back into it. He's almost into this battle now as he's trying to recover from his incident earlier. We just have to wait and see as people start thinking of pitting though. We're getting pretty close to that.
Well, his last lap time was 2 seconds quicker than Cody Lawrence. A 1:17.5 for Cody Lawrence, a 1:15.3 for Mark Levine. As Fox, a lot of wheel spin there. He had to do some good driving there to save that one as he's still trying to defend off William Neron. These two, oh man, this race has had a lot of carnage. Could we have warranted a full safety, full course yellow on that last incident? Yes and no. There's many drivers involved in that. It didn't seem like it was going to warrant one. So that will be a question to be answered later in the race, as now Mark Anthony Hinkson has had an off, and so has somebody else.
Mark Levine, I think, has got involved.
Nope, he's gone through. Mark Levine has gone through, and now he's back up into 8th. So he is working his way through this grid like cake right now. So he is really cutting through the field.
That was a terrible analogy.
I know.
I hope you feel bad. I was wondering where you were going to go with the cake thing. I was like, well, and I'd like to call you out, unfortunately, Adam. It had to be done.
Hey, who doesn't like cake? Who doesn't like to go through cake?
Well, that's true. That's very true. But Mark Levine, I suppose he's maybe thinking of some victory cake still. His soft tyres, he's putting in the laps, but got a long way to go. A lot of time to make up.
He's really got to push it now. But right now, as it sits, he's not in the range. If Cody Lawrence pits now, he's not going to pass him. So he's got a lot of ground to make up. But here's the advantage that Levine has. With these soft tires, he can actually go on another set of softs for the end of the race.
That's true.
And with
maybe that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, well, Cody Lawrence will be forced to the hard tire if he's doing a one-stop. He can go a medium soft tire, and there goes Chevry off. So Mark Levine, he is happy right now. He is absolutely stoked about how this is now going for him as he makes his way up in the 7th, and Chevry now falls down to 10th, could lose another position.
Certainly could. Mark Levine getting 3 positions there. That's what he needs. He doesn't really need to be battling these people. He just wants to be pounding those laps. And he saw there, they did a 1:15. Cody Lawrence doing a 1:17. So he's still keeping that 2-second gap. William Neron and Fox. Wow.
And William Neron's going to lose. He's going to lose a position out of that. And we got to give William Neron there a little bit of credit. He did stop. He didn't try to go around Fox or anything. He allowed Fox to collect himself and get back going again. That's pretty good sportsmanship right there. And, in a league like this, we're a casual league. But, there's some competitive guys throughout the entirety of ARC. And to watch him do that, I tip my hat to him.
Yeah, he made the mistake, and he definitely held his hand up and sort of let it right itself. So Fox kept his 3rd position. William Neron took the pain and dropped it down to 5th. Now he has to think about trying to get around Raquel Sfigo again, who's had a solid drive so far. He's up he's up near the podium positions. Mark Levine, will he get around legs into turn 2? Will he think about doing it into the hairpin? He'll just want to get around him as soon as possible so he can keep going on with the laps. He pulls. Oh! You're lucky he pulled out the move and then decided to go for it. I guess the pace difference with the tyres is still so strong.
It is. It is significantly strong now because his best lap time is a 1:14.7, and that's on this compounded tire. Best lap time for Cody Lawrence is a 1:16.4.
Yeah, he's definitely not out of this race yet. He's doing everything he can to drag himself back into Cody Lawrence's window.
Well, he's still not there yet. He's still not in a range. If Cody Lawrence was to pit, they would be pretty close to each other. Which I guess if you're Mark Levine, you want to get as close as you can before you have to stop again. And he'll probably stop here, I would say, in the next 5-6 laps. Get on another set of softs.
I'd say so. That would be the plan. I mean, I guess he wouldn't want to stay out too much longer than when everyone decides to pit for their stops, because you're just going to lose out at that point, and you're kind of undoing all the work you've done so far. But he's driving like a man possessed, trying to get back into this race. He's like I say, he was leading, and then unfortunately got caught up in an incident with a lap car, and it totally turned the right side. The 2nd week in a row we've had this kind of thing happen, where our leader has been caught up in something with a car he was trying to overtake. It's Andy Cody going around slowly. I think he had an incident. William Neron now, he's back up into P4 and trying to close in on Fox again. These two collided a few laps ago, and let's see if they can do a tidier move this time if he does get onto the back of him before they decide to stop. Battle's been raging on the whole race, Adam. I mean, when you look at the races it's gone, Cody Lawrence has certainly led from the front since Mark Levine's incident. Damien Earl made his way back up into P2, but William Neron, Fox, Kieran Fox, Raquel Figo have all been racing nose to tail most of this race so far. We're starting to see a few pit stops though, with Kieran Fox and Rebels Figo both going in at this stage. So that's going to promote a few people. They want to try and come out in a position where they aren't in loads of traffic, but I don't think that's happened, unfortunately. So we're going to be dealing with that on this outlap, and this might give William Neron a good chance to jump him. But look who's coming up on the William Nero. Mark Levine. He's only 5 seconds back as he continues his charge through the field on his recovery. Meanwhile,
Well,
Cody Lawrence is on lap 19. He's still not pitted.
well, right now, Mark Levine moves himself up into fourth. Legs still battling here. He's still got a shot in this one, but he's got to really push the issue here.
Yes, he definitely has. That's this stage of it, that's all he can do. I mean, we've got Damien Hall, William Nero in the pit. Legs is joining him. I think a lot of people will be pitting this lap. They're trying to avoid being undercut. But Marco Johnson Johnson's gone through for another lap. So at the moment, Cody Lawrence, Mark Anthony Hinkson, and Marco Johnson haven't pit. I think everyone else has at least come in for a stop. And Mark Levine's back up into P2 now, but 33 seconds behind Cody Lawrence. So
Mark Levine, he's definitely not in undercut range because he is. I mean, he may have to take these tires to the end, which would be a tall order, the way this track is made and how it's.
I would be surprised. I mean, he's on 9 laps of them already, but I think the main thing the problem he's going to have now is if he puts on another set of softs, he's going to have to work his way through most of the field again.
Yeah, that's why these next laps are so important right now, as Mark Anthony Hinkson is 9 seconds. He still hasn't pitted. Has he? No, he has pitted.
No. Oh, yeah, yes, yeah.
Yes, he has. So that kind of makes it harder for him, is that he knows the guys behind him have now pitted. So he's got to make do with what he has right now. He's kind of stuck into the strategy, and unfortunately, it came into an issue with him with Angela on lap 10, where he fell down the order and had a crash trying to lap her, and it was unfortunate.
It really was unfortunate. Like I said, it's the second week in a row we've had this. But this time it was Mark Levine who was on the receiving end rather than the gifting as it was last week. But I can't see him taking these to the end. I think even if he needs to pit now or in the next couple of laps, if he wants to try and make this strategy work, at least get back to P2, because I can't see him getting another 12, 11 laps out of these tyres. But maybe he still thinks he can put a bit of a gap on people. I mean, he's doing 116s at the moment. It's still in the range of a lot of people. So we will have to wait and see how it plays out, Adam. It's certainly intriguing. You know, is he going to hold on to this P2? Is he going to have to pit again? If he needs to pit again, he needs to get in soon to, maximise the amount of time he's got on the fresh rubber. At the moment, he seems quite comfortable. He's certainly, like I say, his times haven't dropped off in compared to a lot of the people around him, so he still has that pace to continue. If the tyres are happy to continue, that's the thing. It's if the tyres are deciding whether he can do more laps at this stage.
Well, right now he was still 2 seconds quicker. Well, excuse me, 1 second quicker than Cody Lawrence last time by. So he's still finding some pace out of those tires, and he's on 11-lap-old soft tires, while Cody Lawrence is on 22-lap-old mediums. So Cody Lawrence, he's going to start feeling the pressure. And you got to wonder if Mark Levine has been saving some of this tire life right now because he's able to cut through the field. He's 2 seconds slower than his first time lap, or his fastest lap, which was a 1:14.7. So he's 2 seconds off of that right now. And you got to hope he maybe saved a little bit of tire life for the end, because we got 11 laps remaining here on the Hockenheim ring, and he's but it doesn't appear that he's not saving tires.
It doesn't feel like he's been saving, but the tyres don't seem to be dropping off as much as Cody Lawrence is on 22 lap tyres at the moment. He doesn't look like he's ever pitting. I assume he'll come in eventually. But he's going for another lap, 23 laps on his opening set of tyres. So Mark Levine really is you just have to look at the times compared to the drivers around him, and he's still got the pace on everyone apart from Raquel Figo, who's putting a 15. But everyone else in the 16, 18s, it's in. So Mark Levine is certainly keeping pace with a lot of people around him. So maybe he will just try and go to the end. The tyres aren't dropping off enough that well, he's diving into the pits right now. So you basically listen to my commentary, so I'm going to show you.
Let's go to Figo here. Getting around lap traffic. My stream is just looked over. I do apologize. I do not know what's going on with OBS here. It is all over the place.
So Mark Levine seems to have come out in 7th, so now he just needs to see how quick he can cut through this field again. That's going to be the where the entertainment, I would say, is at this stage. Raquel Figo, 40 seconds behind the leader, Cody Lawrence, who still has to pit. But what a solid drive he's put in. There's a lot of carnage around him, but he's managed to sort of keep his nose clean. Mark Anthony Inkson now trying to hold off Damien Hall. Damien Hall's been in the wars tonight. Is he going to get the move done on down the inside here? He does. Gets it cleared nicely. We've got Fox lurking in the background as well. And once again, Adam, these people seem to have magnets. They're always near each other. There's William Neron stalking in the background as well. And that race has been going on the whole 25 laps so far, so still not over. Still a lot to play for through this field. But Mark Levine, 3 seconds back from this battle. He's going to want to get through as fast as possible. But William Neron now looking at the back of Fox into turn 1. That'd be a brave move. He holds off there. Fox runs very wide into turn 1. William Neron now has a sniff down the inside into 2. Will he take it? He tries.
And we do apologize about that. We're back online. And it looks like OBS has stabled itself. So we still got a battle here that we are keeping close track of here between Fox and Damian Hall, as the gap has, for Mark Levine, he's on the back of this.
Yeah, Mark Levine is on the back of this, and he'll want to get through as quick as possible, but it's very difficult just to cut by people when the battle is so hard. Fox and William Neron are going back and forth. William Neron had a good chance to get around him in the hairpin in the previous lap, but didn't manage to get the move done. So we'll see what Mark Levine can do. He's already looking down the inside into turn 1. This is going to be a brave move, but he doesn't want to risk it. Turn 2 though, he'll fancy that one. Side by side into turn 2. Surely he's going to get this done. Will William Neron defend it too hard? He does, but Mark Levine down the outside now. He's going to have the inside into turn 6, which is a massive advantage on top of the tyres. So we'll see if he can get this move done. It looks like he has. Then looks like maybe Fox held him up a bit. Going on, showing 3 wide out of that corner. But Damian Hall, Mark Levine, Fox are all jostling for position. Mark Levine looks like he's finally got around Damian Hall, William Neron at least. But William Neron's holding on best he can into the stadium section, but Mark Levine gets that move done. What a battle there. And now he's looking at the back of Fox, and they want to get that one done quickly so he can get cracking onto the back of Damian Hall and try and get into the podium at least.
Oh, someone's off.
Oh, that's Fox. Oh no, what a shame. Such a great battle. He had the podium chance, and it's all gone by the wayside. Got down to P7 now. Mark Levine taking a very interesting line out of turn 1. So he's trying to hold off William Neron. William Neron's going to have the DRS, so that's going to make it difficult. And really, this Mark Levine doesn't want this because, you know, battling hard like this is costing him time. He's trying to chase down Damien Hall in third. William Neron's not giving up. He's looking the inside. And we'll see if Mark Levine can get back on the outside. He might do. He's going to have a better run out of the corner here. And he'll have the inside line into the Mercedes Stadium section. And he does sweep round and keep that position. But William Neron is not giving up. And like I said, this is just helping Damien Hall in third maintain that position as Mark Levine's having to battle hard with William Neron here. 4 seconds the gap between him and the car in front, so we'll see if Mark Levine can trace that down in the remaining 5 laps.
Well, if he can salvage a podium out of this, it will be a lifesaver for him. It will still make this championship run very difficult for him, but it can be done. Still, as Figo in second place, 21 seconds behind. But Damien Hall, look at him. He's looking for a good finish tonight. His last time he was even on the podium was at Silverstone. He won the first race of the year at Bahrain, but has not had a win since, and has had more races off the podium than he's been on the podium. And he was somebody I was coming into this season I thought could really put up a decent challenge. But now he's less than a second here off of Raquel's Figo, and now he's going to really push the issue here as we now have 4 laps to go in this one, as Cody Lawrence already through turn 1, and he is going to make his way down the field and just continue his dominant streak here unless something majorly happens. Damien Hall trying to go around the outside of Figo, doesn't get the move done, but he's going to try and maybe set him up for the hairpin.
I don't know what happened there, but that's really in the back racing. Mark Levine's really pulled into the back of these. He's just done a 1:14.4 as well, fastest lap of the race. He is certainly thinking P2 still, but Damien Hall is also thinking that. But man, Mark Levine is just absolutely relentless pace in his recovery. So we'll see what Damien Hall can do into the hairpin. That's been certainly a favourite passing spot and certainly a favourite bump and run spot for our drivers tonight. But look at that, the closing rate of Mark Levine. He's right on the back of this. Well, and all of a sudden Damien Hall's gone from looking at a pass to looking for a strong defence here. But I don't know if he's going to have much of a defence, because Mark Levine is certainly a man who's not going to take no for an answer when it comes to passing cars tonight.
Well, especially with the podium on the line now. He is really closing the gap. Gets into the sand a little bit. That's going to cause him a little bit of a time loss. But you can see Damien Hall doing a good job here, because what's really nice is that he has the DRS coming from Raquel's Figo. And for him, he's thankful for that. But that doesn't mean as well. Mark Levine has the DRS, and he has much fresher tires at this stage in the race. 7-lap-old soft tires and 12-lap-old tires for Damien Hall. But here comes Damien Hall, has DRS, has to brake though before going into turn number 3. Backs out of the move, but he's keeping Mark Levine behind him. Damien Hall, DRS once again. He's setting up the move. He's side by side. He gets the move done, and into the hairpin he goes with second place. And here comes Mark Levine going for the podium. Very close. Who's going to get the better run out of the corner? It's going to be Damien Hall. And right behind him, though, Mark Levine with trying to just go side by side. They two almost collide, but they are keeping it respectful here. Here they come through Mercedes. And this is going to be absolutely insane for this battle for this second spot. And for Mark Levine, a second place is better than the third after not leading majority of the laps, but having 10 laps led tonight. Damien Hall getting around the final corner. 1 lap to go in this one. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're up for an exciting lap. And Levine not using the DRS. He has the DRS, though. Why would he not use it there? That is not I didn't think that was a smart move, but here comes Mark Levine trying to make a move into turn 3. Doesn't make it happen now, but setting it up for the hairpin. Here they come through turn number 4, and 5. Mark Levine down the inside, and now he moves up in to that second spot. And for Damian Hall, he might be getting a little revenge here by Rascal Figo, and he does get revenge as Figo moves up into the 3rd spot.
Yep, Figo definitely took advantage of the battle between Mark Levine and Damien Hall there. He set the move up and he just needs to hold on for another lap. As Damien Hall runs very wide there in the Mercedes-Benz, so...
Well, here comes Cody Lawrence across the line to take another win this season. That'll be win number 6.
There's still one lap.
Oh, yeah. Oh, really? That was a lap? Okay, we're on the final lap.
I mean, what you said's true. I can't see that changing in the next, 3 miles, but, Mark Levine is running away in P2 now. And now it's all about whether Raquel's Figo can hold off, or Raquel's Figo can hold off Damien Hall on this final lap. Hall with the DRS, and it's only going to come down to the turn 6 hairpin, I feel, again. Great exit by Damien Hall there. He needs to get on the back of him, and it's all about whether Raquel's Figo wants to really defend this on the inside, or whether he's going to let Damien Hall have the inside. He does.
He does.
So,
and if you're Figo right now, this is not a good situation because you don't have another DRS zone for the rest of the lap. He gets a little bit loose, a little bit squabbly, almost takes Damien Hall with him, but Damien Hall is back up into the podium.
Yeah, that looks like the podium's done and dusted, unfortunately. Raquel Figo was looking for that switchback, but he got down on the power and his tyres were like, no, we're not having that. As Cody Lawrence has finally won the race. His 5th victory of the season, I believe.
6th victory this season.
I was taking a victory away from him. I'm sorry, Cody.
Here comes Mark Levine. After a tough race, he will finish 2nd place. Damien Hall, he'll be relieved to come home in 3rd. Figo, in his debut here at ARC, finishes 4th. William Neron, good race from him, finishes 5th. Sim Black Fox does not gain or lose a position this race. He'll finish in the 6th spot.
Yeah, I feel he lost a bit there, though. He was in that podium battle earlier on, and then he had that incident in the stadium section. It put him back. But Mark Anthony Nixon in 7th, Legs in 8th. Tom Cruise battling back to a 9th after a very up and down race. There's a few incidents.
Matt Chevry will come around to finish out the top 10.
Yeah, we didn't see a lot of him today, but he's got a point out at the end of it, so that's certainly something to take away from this.
Outside the top 10 tonight, Marco Jansen, Mark Taylor, William Knowles, Andy Cody, Carvma, and Tyler Signs are 3 DNFs. Angela, Neblet, and Robel Gales.
Yep,
so,
we lost 3 drivers early, and then everyone else saw through to the end. But wow, Cody Lawrence was in the end runaway leader after Mark Levine's incident, but we saw some great battling between Damien Hall, Mark Anthony Hinks, Kieran Fox, Legs, Tom Cruise, Matt Chevry. A lot of people got in there and had great battles tonight.
Some very good battles.
There's a lot of respect shown, and there was a few incidents, but generally the race was hard and fair.
Well, that was an interesting race. Cody Lawrence gets his 6th victory on the season. I don't think it slams the championship door just yet, but next week he could definitely wrap this one up as he will collect another 25 points. I don't think he had the fastest lap. I think that fastest lap is going to go to Mark Levine tonight, but that will put Cody Lawrence to 190? 191?
Let's have a look.
Because I'm bad at math.
I'm loading up the wrong thing.
191. So 191 after tonight. And for Mark Levine, he will end tonight with 142.
Yeah, so we move on to Pinwheel next, and like I said, Cody Lawrence can wrap up the championship there. What a run of results he's had. Nothing lower than second all season.
Yep,
Mark
nothing.
Levine will certainly be thinking that tonight was, an opportunity lost, because he was certainly controlling the pace in the early going until the incident with Angela. So you can take solace in the fact that he did match Cody and certainly had the better of him. But at the end of the day, he's lost more ground in his little championship fight, and that's dwindling away, unfortunately.
Yep, next week the championship can be wrapped up if Cody Lawrence basically finishes in the top 10 at this point. So he just has to score a point, I think, and I think that's all she would write. Except for that, 75 points maximum up for grabs, base points wide before the fastest lap point. So
yeah,
it's going to come down to that next week. So, well, James, thank you so much. And next week we head to a fictional track called Pinwheel, one of my favorite circuits on the calendar, and you'll see why next week. Join us next Tuesday night for some great racing action at Texas with the NASCAR Truck Series, as well as in ACF1 next Wednesday, ACC this weekend on Saturday night at 9 Eastern with Matt McAdams on the call for that one. So join us, hit that follow button, hit the subscribe button on YouTube, and that will do it for us tonight. For everybody here at Apollo Racing Club, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week for Pinwheel.
Take care, everyone.